The fossa is a slender, long-tailed, cat-like mammal that is endemic to Madagascar. It is a member of the carnivoran family Eupleridae. The fossa is the largest mammalian carnivore on Madagascar and has been compared to a small cougar as it has convergently evolved many cat-like features. Adults have a head-body length of 70 to 80 centimeters and weigh between 5.5 and 8.6 kilograms, with the males larger than the females. It has semi-retractable claws, meaning it can extend but not retract its claws fully, and flexible ankles that allow it to climb up and down trees head first, and also support jumping from tree to tree. A larger relative of the species, Cryptoprocta spelaea, probably became extinct before 1400. The generic name Cryptoprocta refers to how the animal's anus is hidden by its anal pouch, from the ancient Greek words crypto hidden and procta anus. The species name ferox is the Latin adjective fierce or wild. Its common name comes from the word fossa in Malagasy, an Austronesian language, and some authors have adopted the Malagasy spelling in English. The word is similar to posa, meaning cat, in the Iban language from Borneo, and both terms may derive from trade languages from the 1600s. However, an alternative etymology suggests a link to another word that comes from Malay pusa refers to the Malayan weasel, Mustela nudipes. The Malay word pusa could have become posa for cats in Borneo, while in Madagascar the word could have become fossa to refer to the fossa. The fossa was formally described by Edward Turner Bennett on the basis of a specimen from Madagascar sent by Charles Telfair in 1833. The common name is the same as the generic name of the Malagasy civet, Fossa fossana, but they are different species. Because of shared physical traits with viverids, mongooses, and felidae, its classification has been controversial. Bennett originally placed the fossa as a type of civet in the family Viveridae, a classification that long remained popular among taxonomists. Its compact brain case, large eye sockets, retractable claws, and specialized carnivorous dentition have also led some taxonomists to associate it with the felids. In 1939, William King Gregory and Milo Hellman placed the fossa in its own subfamily within Felidae, the Cryptoproctinae. George Gaylord Simpson placed it back in Viveridae in 1945, still within its own subfamily, yet conceded it had many cat-like characteristics. In 1993, Geraldine Véron and François Catzeflis published a DNA hybridization study suggesting that the fossa was more closely related to mongooses, family Herpestidae, than to cats or civets. However, in 1995, Véron's morphological study once again grouped it with Felidae. In 2003, molecular phylogenetic studies using nuclear and mitochondrial genes by Ann Yoder and colleagues showed that all native Malagasy carnivorans share a common ancestry that excludes other carnivores, meaning they form a clade, making them monophyletic, and are most closely related to Asian and African Herpestidae. To reflect these relationships, all Malagasy carnivorans are now placed in a single family, Eupleridae. Within Eupleridae, the fossa is placed in the subfamily Euplerini along with the Phalanuke, Eupleris gudoti, and Malagasy civet, but its exact relationships are poorly resolved. An extinct relative of the fossa was described in 1902 from subfossil remains and recognized as a separate species, Cryptoprocta spelaea, in 1935. This species was larger than the living fossa, with a body mass estimate roughly twice as great, but otherwise similar. Comparison with related carnivorans. Overall, the fossa has features in common with 3 different carnivoran families, leading researchers to place it and other members of Eupleridae alternatively in Herpestidae, Viveridae, and Felidae. Felid features are primarily those associated with eating and digestion, including tooth shape and facial portions of the skull, the tongue, and the digestive tract, typical of its exclusively carnivorous diet. The remainder of the skull most closely resembles skulls of genus Vivera, while the general body structure is most similar to that of various members of Herpestidae. The dental formula is 3 incisors, 1 canine, 3 or 4 premolars, and 1 molar on each side of both the upper and lower jaws, with the deciduous formula being similar but lacking the 4th premolar and the molar. The fossa has a large, prominent rhinarium, similar to that of viverids, but has comparatively larger round ears, almost as large as those of a similarly sized felid. Its facial vibrissae, or whiskers, are long, with the longest being longer than its head. Like some mongoose genera, particularly Galidia, which is now in the fossa's own family Eupleridae and Herpestes of Herpestidae, it has carpal vibrissae as well. Its claws are retractile, but unlike those of Felidae species, they are not hidden in skin sheaths. It has 3 pairs of nipples, one inguinal, one ventral, and one pectoral. One of the more peculiar physical features of this species is its external genitalia. The fossa is unique within its family for the shape of its genitalia, which share traits with those of cats and hyenas. The male fossa has an unusually long penis and baculum, or penis bone, reaching to between his forelegs when erect, with an average thickness of 20 millimeters. The glans extends about halfway down the shaft and is spiny except at the tip. In comparison, the glans of felids is short and spiny, while that of viverids is smooth and long. The female fossa exhibits transient masculinization, starting at about 1 to 2 years of age, developing an enlarged spiny clitoris that resembles a male's penis. The enlarged clitoris is supported by an os clitoritis, which decreases in size as the animal grows. The females do not have a pseudoscrotum, but they do secrete an orange substance that colors their underparts, much like the secretions of males. Hormone levels, including testosterone, androstenedione, and dihydrotestosterone, do not seem to play a part in this transient masculinization, as those levels are the same in masculinized juveniles and non-masculinized adults. It is speculated that the transient masculinization either reduces sexual harassment of juvenile females by adult males, or reduces aggression from territorial females. While females of other mammal species, such as the spotted hyena, have a pseudopenis, no other is known to diminish in size as the animal grows. The fossa has the most widespread geographical range of the Malagasy carnivores and is generally found in low numbers throughout the island in remaining tracts of forest, preferring pristine, undisturbed forest habitat. It is also encountered in some degraded forests, but in lower numbers. Although the fossa is found in all known forest habitats throughout Madagascar, including the western dry deciduous forests, the eastern rainforests, and the southern spiny forests, it is seen more frequently in humid than in dry forests. This may be because the reduced canopy in dry forests provides less shade, and also because the fossa seems to travel more easily in humid forests. It is absent from areas with the heaviest habitat disturbance and, like most of Madagascar's fauna, from the central high plateau of the country. The fossa has been found across several different elevational gradients in undisturbed portions of protected areas throughout Madagascar. In the Reserve Naturelle Intégrale d'Andringitra, evidence of the fossa has been reported at 4 different sites ranging from 810 to 1,625 meters. Its highest known occurrence was reported at 2,000 meters. Its presence high on the Andringitra Massif was subsequently confirmed in 1996. Similarly, evidence has been reported of the fossa at the elevational extremes of 440 meters and 1,875 meters in the Andohahela National Park. The presence of the fossa at these locations indicates its ability to adapt to various elevations, consistent with its reported distribution in all Madagascar forest types. The fossa is active during both the day and the night and is considered cathemeral. Activity peaks may occur early in the morning, late in the afternoon, and late in the night. The animal generally does not reuse sleeping sites, but females with young do return to the same den. The home ranges of male fossas in Karindi Forest are up to 26 square kilometers large compared to 13 square kilometers for females. These ranges overlap by about 30% according to data from the eastern forests, but females usually have separated ranges. Home ranges grow during the dry season, perhaps because less food and water is available. In general, radio-collared fossas travel between 2 and 5 kilometers per day, although in one reported case a fossa was observed moving a straight line distance of 7 kilometers in 16 hours. The animal's population density appears to be low in Karindi Forest. Where it is thought to be common, its density has been estimated at 1 animal per 4 square kilometers in 1998. Another study in the same forest between 1994 and 1996, using the mark and recapture method, indicated a population density of 1 animal per 3.8 square kilometers and 1 adult per 5.6 square kilometers. Except for mothers with young and occasional observations of pairs of males, animals are usually found alone so that the species is considered solitary. A 2009 publication, however, reported a detailed observation of cooperative hunting, wherein 3 male fossas hunted a 3-kilogram sifika for 45 minutes and subsequently shared the prey. This behavior may be a vestige of cooperative hunting that would have been required to take down larger recently extinct lemurs. Fossas communicate using sounds, scents, and visual signals. Vocalizations include purring, a threatening call, and a call of fear consisting of repeated loud, coarse inhalations and gasps of breath. A long, high yelp may function to attract other fossas. Females mew during mating, and males produce a sigh when they have found a female. Throughout the year, animals produce long-lasting scent marks on rocks, trees, and the ground using glands in the anal region and on the chest. They also communicate using face and body expression, but the significance of these signals is uncertain. The animal is aggressive only during mating, and males in particular fight boldly. After a short fight, the loser flees and is followed by the winner for a short distance. In captivity, fossas are usually not aggressive and sometimes even allow themselves to be stroked by a zookeeper, but adult males in particular may try to bite. The fossa is a carnivore that hunts small to medium-sized animals. One of 8 carnivorous species endemic to Madagascar, the fossa is the island's largest surviving endemic terrestrial mammal and the only predator capable of preying upon adults of all extant lemur species, the largest of which can weigh as much as 90% of the weight of the average fossa. Although it is the predominant predator of lemurs, reports of its dietary habits demonstrate a wide variety of prey selectivity and specialization depending on habitat and season. Diet does not vary by sex. While the fossa is thought to be a lemur specialist in Ranamafana National Park, its diet is more variable in other rainforest habitats. The diet of the fossa in the wild has been studied by analyzing their distinctive scats, which resemble gray cylinders with twisted ends, and measure 10 to 14 centimeters long by 1.5 to 2.5 centimeters thick. Scat collected and analyzed from both Andohahela and Andringitra contained lemur matter and rodents. Eastern populations in Andringitra incorporate the widest recorded variety of prey, including both vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates consumed ranged from reptiles to a wide variety of birds, including both understory and ground birds, and mammals, including insectivores, rodents, and lemurs. Invertebrates eaten by the fossa in the high mountain zone of Andringitra include insects and crabs. One study found that vertebrates comprise 94% of the diet of fossas, with lemurs comprising over 50%, followed by tenrecs at 9%, lizards at 9%, and birds at 2%. Seeds, which comprised 5% of the diet, may have been in the stomachs of the lemurs eaten, or may have been consumed with fruit taken for water, as seeds were more common in the stomach in the dry season. The average prey size varies geographically. It is only 40 grams in the high mountains of Andringitra, in contrast to 480 grams in humid forests, and over 1,000 grams in dry, deciduous forests. In a study of fossa diet in the dry deciduous forest of western Madagascar, more than 90% of prey items were vertebrates, and more than 50% were lemurs. The primary diet consisted of approximately 6 lemur species and 2 or 3 spiny tenrex species, along with snakes and small mammals. Generally, the fossa preys upon larger lemurs and rodents in preference to smaller ones. Prey is obtained by hunting either on the ground or in the trees. During the non-breeding season, the fossa hunts individually, but during the breeding season, hunting parties may be seen, and these may be pairs, or later on mothers and young. One member of the group scales a tree and chases the lemurs from tree to tree, forcing them down to the ground where the other is easily able to capture them. The fossa is known to eviscerate its larger lemur prey, a trait that, along with its distinct scat, helps identify its kills. Long-term observations of the fossa's predation patterns on rainforest sificas suggest that the fossa hunts in a subsection of their range until prey density is decreased, then moves on. The fossa has been reported to prey on domestic animals, such as goats and small calves, and especially chickens. Food taken in captivity includes amphibians, birds, insects, reptiles, and small to medium-sized mammals. This wide variety of prey items taken in various rainforest habitats is similar to the varied dietary composition noted occurring in the dry forests of western Madagascar as well. As the largest endemic predator on Madagascar, this dietary flexibility combined with a flexible activity pattern has allowed it to exploit a wide variety of niches available throughout the island, making it a potential keystone species for the Madagascar ecosystems. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumb up and share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future content. See you in the next video.